Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm OP, and in today's episode we'll be going over some of the best highlights from today's LCK 2024 Spring Split matchup. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the action.
With the old...
There's another twisted advance forward as Canyon's moving down. Polo's in trouble, does still have flash available, but I don't think he's getting out of this one, and there is the Ren to secure the kill onto the Nautilus. Canyon taking a fair bit of damage from Envy, but I don't think he's going to be 1v3ing this one. So first blood going over to Gen.G. He's going to take a bit of a shove right towards Karis. He's going to be all right, though, as he throws down the Weaver's Wall, and there's the flash in from Canyon! There goes Karis, the Chain Lash comes down, and that is an easy kill for Chovy.
And immediately punished for it, and now they're looking for a dive on Morgan. Have fun.
Yep, Nature's Grasp comes down, he does get snared up as now Pays just throwing sticks into him. Slice and Dice, though, does get him out of there as they do have a seismic shove to pull back Canyon. He's taking a lot of damage. Morgan as well, as now Gen.G underneath the turret. This is dangerous. The Silas does manage to take down the Talia, though, once again, as Kane, he's going to join the fray. Only a couple more minions left remaining as Chovy picks up the aggro. He's got Dominus there as well if he'd like to use it. Doesn't even have to, and that is going to be a kill going over to Pays. We'll be able to figure this out, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to get here in time. So it should be Shelly. Oh, never mind. Gen.G are moving on over. There's lots of vision for Bro. They know exactly what's going on, but there is the Nature's Grasp. They managed to catch up Gideon as Chovy picks up a depth charge. There's the knock-up onto Polo. He's taken out immediately, but Lehen suffers the same fate. And now Morgan, he can slice over that wall if he would like to. There he goes. Another vault forward is now Gideon taking a lot of damage, and Chovy is just annihilating the back line. There goes Gideon, and Chovy's even looking for more. Morgan in trouble, slowed down by the Chain Lashes. Keen vaulted on in, but that is Dominus as the response there from Morgan, and he gets to the safety of the inner turret. Gen.G,
they kind of just try to run away, losing as little members as possible, and that didn't really pan out.
That is a good seismic shove onto Canyon, and he's tanking this turret, and will do so for a very long time. Pays has to eat the Q from Karis to get himself out of there, with Ajax still alive. Now Chovy is looking for a Chains of Corruption. He connects it, Envy, nothing you can do.
Well, there was a virus.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Envy has definitely used it as well, because it's on cooldown. As somehow that Dredge line missed. Depth Charge does come on through here, as now Keen trying to offer some damage back. Polu taking a lot, but Lehens is also in a lot of trouble. Karis not able to connect the rocks, though, because Canyon stood in the way. Another Weaver's Wall coming on through here. That is an aggressive move as Seismic Shove goes entirely wide. Money now over to their coffers as Gideon slowed down. There is another Sky Strike coming on through. And yes, he uses the ult. Gideon is going to be able to keep himself alive, but they won't be able to use that for anything else. There's that Chains of Corruption you were talking about, and Seismic Shove is going to deal with Keen. So a little bit of an overstep, but the Nature's Grasp is going to put Polo in a very uncomfortable spot. Canyon with the Counter-Strike gets the flash out from Morgan, and Karis, he was trying to back! Oh dear, he is going to make it under his turret. He will be all right as that piercing arrow very close. Man, if Envy had some money this game.
Has the most gold in the game.
Yes, he probably did before those turrets as well. Yeah, picks up Chains of Corruption, and Chovy is going to be able to secure this top outer turret as there is a flash forward from Envy. Does find the Chains of Corruption onto Pace. Wind becomes Lightning as there's the flash that has to be used, and now Fate's Call is going to get Lehens out of there. Another Wind becomes Lightning as he goes in. Oh, the Fate's Call interrupts, and Gideon is going to go down. That outplay. They didn't even need it. They were probably still going to win, and still they managed to find it as now Canyon looking to wrap around. They do manage to take this turret, and along with it, that bounty gold that we were talking about. But now they are getting closed in upon. Pace is very, very low, but there's a twisted advance onto Envy. Chovy still trying to take his opportunity as Karis going to be his first target. Pierce is going to lock down the Varus, and now Bro are just lying on the floor. Canyon finds the spite here onto Morgan. Chain Lash connects, and Chovy just ends him. Man!
I'll fight with the men.
Exactly. As now they're engaging onto Chovy. This might be dangerous. Have they brought enough bad guys? The answer is maybe. As Depth Charge does come on through, Canyon going to join in on the bouncy castle. Is now Keen trying to find some autos. Fate's Call comes down once again as Morgan has got on top of Pays, but the hook is not really going to do it, and Pays is going to take down the Crocodile. Canyon still wants to jump in, but he has 100 health, so I'm not sure about that one. That was an odd move, but still he's managed to start up the fight. Envy's going to go down. Chovy still looking for an opportunity, doesn't quite get it, as now Pays chasing after him. Has to be so scared about the Unraveled Earth as the vault is targeted, and that's very unfortunate for Karis as he is
in the ensuing play. Canyon
Now Chovy is going 1v2. Polu does turn up. I think Chovy thought that he was just fighting the Crocodile, as the depth charge is going to connect onto said Crocodile. Keen turns up as well. You know what? We'll jump back on Valor and see what he can do. They do have very close to 6 turrets removed, 7 actually, as Gideon is going to be able to slow down Canyon. In comes Karis, looking for that opportunity as he gets thrown back. Canyon now runs out of Counter-Strike, and that means that Envy able to take him down. The piercing arrow does come on through, but there's give and take in the game of League of Legends, and Gen.G are now taking a lot after giving the Jax. That is going to be inhibitor number 1 falling down. Bot lane is now open as well. Nailed it. FaZe now going to move towards his top side. Okay.
Oh, there's a
really
TP flank.
Close by, yeah. And there's a Weaver's Wall to come through as well. Pay's going to be slowed down, and he flashes over the wall. Lehens is going to turn up as now Morgan gets into that backline, but there's the first cleanse for Pays, and he gets himself to relative safety. Now Gen.G are closing in, and it is a bloodbath. That's going to be the first one as these Ren sets start to come through. It's the double. The other 80 carry picks up a double himself as now Canyon wants to take down Morgan. The jungler versus the top laner. But it is still looking pretty good for Canyon as Morgan is lithe. Still, he's going to get smoked. And a leap strike, I'm sure, is going to come off cooldown at some point. And there it is. That's going to be the ace, and Gen.G are now going to push forward. That game 1 was not exactly the game 1 BRO was looking for. Gen.G just took that snowball and hurled it down the mountain.
It was like a single fight. The game could just be over from there. It can really feel that way. Into Aurelion Sol, I think that's just factually accurate.
Yeah.
Because when his E...
Effort doing a bit of harass here so far in the lane.
It's gone pretty okay so far.
When will it stop going okay is the question, as that is a lot of damage. Lehens already having to get out of there, but Envy is followed up. He is likely to go down, but First Blood still going over to the Callista is great news for them. Unfortunately, to be the end of it, and it is.
Yes. Oh, seeing a bit more.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Vault Breaker doesn't actually land the damage, though, which could be unfortunate here for Gideon. Keen wanting to come over to help out, but you can see Morgan, he's just going to bypass the turret here and look to help Gideon lock this one down. Lehens is roaming, though, so this is dangerous times. There is another more to come through there as he's down to about 100. Oh, the Vault Breaker, the last auto attack, and that is going to be Lehens painting his way towards a second kill for Gen.G. Morgan now getting full.
While now.
Yeah, Canyon in his top side, going to be taking that jungle as okay. Keen, let's throw that one out. Hostile takeover doesn't exactly find too much there as Effort does making his way in. That is a decent ultimate from Gideon though, and they lock down Pays. Still, it's going to be a 1-for-1 and almost a 1-for-2, but Gideon able to tank up that last shot. So Gideon diff starting to become true here in this game as they do get
those valuable, but you know, I think that's safe.
All right, well, Fate's Call going to come down towards this bottom side. They get the knock-up. There's the handshake onto Pays as well as Gideon just goes into the wall with the Vault Breaker, unfortunately, so they're not able to make that one work. And Canyon, he'll find a Magnet Storm onto 2. Envy does have the bailout running, and he still has to flash because they knew that they weren't going to be able to get on top of anyone. Oh, the ulti comes down as Envy. There's the snipe from Lehens. It almost looked silly, comical from Chovy, but he just
didn't end up doing so. And oh, seen him repeat right here.
Yeah, there's another one. That is a lot of damage going down on top of this Aurelion Sol. He's surviving for forever, and he's still up. Okay, never mind, just flaps his way out. Well, he doesn't flap because that's Smolder. Aurelion Sol doesn't do that, as Canyon's gonna have to flash crash down. Envy still putting sticks in and is going to be able to get that one to work out. The bailout, not even necessary here, just utilized for a bit of extra attack speed, and Envy now able to get himself out. So 4, 2, and 0. Now, days have been better, you know?
Yeah.
Has now improved with Shelly going on over, is now Chovy going to be put on a leash once again. There's an ulti, in fact, as Envy's going to get slowed down, but Cease and Desist is going to come on through, and Chovy, I don't think he's escaping this one. That is 400 gold straight over to the Vi. So they'll get Shelly and they'll take down. Still trying to keep himself safe. Does want his health bar to be a little bit larger than this, as they have started off this dragon. Gen.G in position, though, as Fate's Call going to be used very early on in the fight, is now Keen getting himself amongst it for the first time is what it feels like here in a team fight for Gen.G. Is now Morgan chased down and breathed on here by Chovy. Magnet Storm comes on forward as Morgan tries to get it done, but it's just death from above. Double kill instantly here for Chovy, who's looking for even more, just slowing them down over and over again with this Breath of Light. And now Lehens, I mean, 1v1 as some supportal combat does come on through there. Misses the ulti though, as the Ignite in anger is still going to be able to take him down. The Singularity is what does it in the end, and Gen.G roll him over in this team fight. You know, there's a Fate's Call for effort. Still, once again, not going to have that. Oh, Envy. That is, yeah, Flash needs to be blown, as high value is this Hui pick thus far. The more really working out. And now Gen.G looking to press in. Only a couple of minions left remaining as Canyon looking for an opportunity. Does manage to find the Shattering Strike, and another ulti flies down. Hostile takeover comes in. They need to focus on this turret that's doing so much work. Canyon goes down to that one. And now Chovy, 1 versus 4. He is really dead. And Gen.G bit off a little more than they could chew.
And bro, everyone on the right dragon worked out pretty well in that situation. I also think Gen.G kind of expect
Baron
power to go down. You know what, why not? Why not? There's a lot of poke on the enemy team that's really going to make it difficult, so that's probably why not. But
yeah, lower health bars and a very big Keen would be the why not that I'd be looking for. As Effort is dead. Yep, Baron is going to be able to finish.
My question was answered in front of our eyes.
Yeah. Now Bro's turn to kill the support. See whether they do that, as Chovy does actually breathe this down very, very quickly.
There's plenty of time to get in though. Karis needs to get some poke down.
Yeah. Gideon moving on over. Keen just trying to get him out of there. As you can see, he's being thrown around like a punching bag. All Out does come on through here. They should be able to take down the Cassante, but the Baron is already there. Lehens trying to walk his way out. Gets slowed up for a moment, but should be all right. Oh, the flash Q is massive from Karis. And that's a triple kill out of nowhere here for Envy. Pays. Oh, he's not going anywhere. That is going to be the snare coming through. And is there a Baron left available? The answer is no, as Gideon clears up the last one. Oh dear, cue the yakety sax as Gen.G are all lying on the floor.
You know what you called? It's like mantra cues, but he was on point during that passage of play.
Oh yeah. And getting the double value from that big one as they tried to round the corner, as now Gideon going to be flashing in a very weird way. That is a way you could flash.
Yes, out of all the directions, that is certainly one of them.
Yeah. And that is going to mean that Gen.G just walk on over and grab themselves Soul Point as well if they would like it. Inner turret is under fire, but that is definitely going to go down, so you may as well stick around and try and take this Drake as well. Dragon on Dragon.
Pretty close to Infernal Soul, but actually Chovy has died 3 times and have a Hextech Dragon, so they have Celestial Soul.
Shyvana is before Kindred as well, right?
I don't know if they're as valuable. I think maybe after. You don't get as many, but I don't think they're as valuable.
Oh dear. Effort is going to have to be Fate's Gold once again. Constantly getting caught out, but at least he does have the ability to keep... Oh dear. Now Gideon trying to get in there. They just swap positions. Never mind, but another Magnet Storm is going to punish him, and another ulti comes down from Chovy. Decent Q damage there as well, but look at how long range Gen.G are, and they're still doing so much work. Morgan trying to do what he can as Keen. So many sticks in him, and he explodes into cinders. The bailout not going to be doing too much here as Envy gets a little bit of awkward surprise as Canyon was right there, and that is going to mean that he explodes as well. Chovy getting to work on this inner turret, and Karis is just trying to get the heck out of
an angle. This has gone well for every team who've done it this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe eventually, bro, like, we'll start it again so then we can peel off and one of us can die, and then they'll start the Baron, and it'll be fine. Oh dear. Okay, Pei's just going to kill Morgan. So he's the sacrifice this time around. Let's see what can happen as Envy is going to snap. Oh my goodness, the Fate's Call does come on through. Oh, not quite able to land the damage there is Lehens. But another Magnet Storm is going to spell the end of Karis. He did do a fair bit of damage, at least beforehand, as now Envy, wrong direction for that one, unfortunately. So it's a triple for the big old dragon. That's going to be another one, as it's Keen that picks that up.
But Gideon did get the Krogs, so I think we're analyzing it. Is it worth? No. Yeah. 4,400 gold lead in the mid lane. Pretty substantial.
That is a large lead. I think that gives more kudos to Karis for doing so much damage, as now Gideon looking for that backline does manage to find Pays, but that is a huge meteorite that has come down, and Gideon finds himself alone. Keen dives underneath the turret. They do manage to take down Envy though. The Q not enough to actually finish him off, and now it's Lehens just able to lay down artillery fire, and Morgan now in the fountain, trying to contend with a gigantic singularity. Man, the amount of just large abilities that can be thrown into this fountain. He probably could, but instead, the Nexus turrets are going to be the focus. They breathe, and yeah, there he goes. Piercing Arrow is going to be what finishes him off 7-2 and 14 in the end. And that's actually a maths equation. Kind of cool there as the Nexus does fall, and Gen.G will finish off.
These were some of the best highlights from today's LCK 2024 Spring Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.